Tonight, what we've got going on is we are going to make some multiplication media. We're going to make the media that actually makes this stuff expand and grow. And just to show you a little bit about what that looks like, let me show you. These are the Alocasia Jacqueline that we put in, here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess. And they've already grown that much. They've got, let's see, let me turn that around. You can see the brand new shoots that are growing down in there. So what we're going to do is take these clumps apart, separate them, and put them into their very own jars, because as you see, they're already the size of the jar. So they don't fit in your normal test tubes. They're going to have to go into their own jars, is what it is. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is separate those out and get them ready to go, which also means that we're going to have some larger cultures. They're going to be up for sale over the next couple of days. So if you guys are interested in that, these are the Alocasia Jacqueline that are overgrowing the jar. Also, for those of you that got to see some of it on YouTube, the lupine seeds. Oh, you know what? These are also the same ones. Sonny, if you're down there, these are the same lupine seeds that we germinated at the last class. So I'm not sure how yours look yet, but I've got 3 jars that look just like this. This is what happened to all the rest of those. How's yours coming along there, Sonny? If you can answer. Might not be able to answer. That's quite all right. But yeah, we did germinate these in vitro during the last class session. That's one of the things that at the hands-on workshop we do is seed germination in vitro. I teach you how to sterilize the seeds, how to put them in, aseptic technique. Oh, there she is. Hey, Sonny.
Hi, I am trying to work on this. Mine hasn't sprouted yet.
Well, not all of them may have. Some of these in the jar haven't sprouted yet either, but probably over half of them have. And let's see, I'm still looking at, there's probably 6 or 7 in the jar that have not sprouted yet. So, don't worry about it, just wait. Now, was yours down in the media or just sitting on top?
It's down in there.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see that. We've even got roots growing down into the bottom here. So now this is the same media. As a matter of fact, this is the media that you guys mixed up in class. If you remember, I told you, you guys are going to make tomorrow's media. Well, there it is.
Yeah,
yeah, there it is. And that's also, I want to say that's the same media that we used here in the Alocasia Jacqueline for that same class. So we're going to get to subculturing that. But first, we've got to make some media. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make some media. We're going to mix it up and show you exactly how to do that. But now we're going to go on over to the hand cam so that you guys can see what's happening over there. And we should have a good split camera there. Now, this is a very simple process, folks. I'm going to walk you guys through the whole thing, exactly how to do it. It's relatively simple. Darling, can you grab that agar over there, that bag right there?
Yes.
Yep, there you go. Just set it right here for me. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and do that. All right. Well, here we are, folks. Let me move the camera over just a bit. There you go so that you can see. And we're going to start off with our number 1 ingredient, distilled water. That's right. Just general distilled water. Now, when you're making media, you can use it right straight out of the bottle. If you were going to use this to do any kind of mixing at all, anything that was not going to be autoclaved next, then you would definitely want to sterilize it first. You know what? As a matter of fact, grab me those 2 jars that have been sterilized. They're a little easier to use. Yeah, just because they're easier to use. This is the big full bottle. I went to Walmart to pick up a brand new gallon for you guys, and I like the milk jug style. And wouldn't you know, they were completely out, so I've got this gigantic jug. I think they're switching to that. I don't like dealing with it, especially on camera.
Just 1 or 2?
2. Yeah, because we're doing a whole liter. All right, so now what I do is I generally will stick it into a mason jar and put that in the pressure cooker for about 20 to 25 minutes at 15 psi just to sterilize the water. I will always put a little bit of foil over the top of it, and that's just to keep the top from getting wet and rusty and to keep anything from getting into it. So it's a pretty simple process, guys. All right, now we're going to start off by adding right around 600 to 800 milliliters of distilled water. And you don't have to be exact with that. You just don't want to fill the entire liter to start with. There we go. And that put us right at, let's see here, right around 800 milliliters right there. That's great. Here you go, beautiful assistant. Thank you very much. All right, so we've got about 800 milliliters of water in there now. We're going to go ahead and start mixing up our different things that go in here, the different ingredients that go in. Want to make sure we're staying in focus and in camera. All right, I'll put a magnetic stir bar right inside there and turn that on. You know what, actually I'm going to turn that off a little bit because it gets quiet, or it gets really loud if I turn it up, just to let you guys know. Turn our scale on and tare that. Now the very first thing I like to put in is sucrose. That's all it is, folks. It's sugar is what it is. Sucrose is sugar. We like to use right between 20 and 30 grams of sucrose. That makes everybody happy. So we're just going to dump it right inside here. The reason I like to do that first is it's the hardest to get to mix up. So it takes the longest to get to dissolve. That's what it is. All right, we've got 29 grams. That's going to work for us. You guys see that okay? Yeah, you should be able to see it. 29.4. That works fine. There we go. Next ingredient is called Murashigi and Scooge. MS. This is a nutrient base. It's got all of your macro and micro nutrients in it that a plant needs to survive. For this, we're going to use right at 4.5 grams. 4.4, 4.5. You're generally just right. There we are. We got 4.53. That's close enough. There again, this stuff isn't, it's not too exacting. You really don't have to be. Now we've got 4.5 grams of the Murashigi and Scooge. I'm going to dump that in. Make sure we're still sitting at 0, and we are. All right, we've got our MS, we've got our sucrose, and next is our agar. And you can use just about any kind you find. I'm going to come back to the main screen. This is the bag, just agar powder. It's food grade. This is the same thing that you're going to make gelatin with. It's basically just your gelling agent. That's all it is. And we like to use for this, because we're going to be putting things down in it, I like it to be a little bit less viscous, so not quite as thick. So what we're going to do is we're only going to put 7 grams in, usually between 7 and 8. 8 is really good if you're setting something on top of it. If you do 7, it leaves it a little bit more liquidy so that you can put something down into it, which is what we're going to do today. And weigh that out. Let me see. You know what? I think I can do this better with the camera, just like this. Remember, we're looking for right around 7 grams. And there again, it doesn't have to be exact, folks, but real close works. Real close works. Now, there are some things that do need to be exact. This just isn't one of them. We got 7.1. We're great. Can I get you to take this stuff for me here?
Yes.
All right, and we're going to add that into the mix. And that is our gelling agent. That's the last of the powders that go in. Now, if you guys thought that, let me come back to you. If you guys thought that was too much, if you thought that was too hard, fear not. We make an all-in-one media kit where all you've got to do is add the contents of this bottle into a liter of water, and it works fine for you. So instead of having to buy all the different ingredients to make it work, this one bottle right here does it for you, if that seemed a little too daunting for you. However, now it's time to go ahead and add your hormones to make it do multiplication. So let's go back over to the split cam. All right, now for this I use a micro pipette, and we are going to use 2 different plant growth hormones. Okay, we're going to use 6-benzylamino purine, and then we're also going to use endo-3 butyric acid. That will give us a good combination between shoots and roots, cytokinins and auxins. The 6-benzylamino purine is a cytokinin that promotes shoot growth. The endo-3 butyric acid is an auxin that promotes root growth. Now we're going to do that in two totally different ratios. The first thing we're going to do is start off with our IBA, our endo-3 butyric acid, and we're going to set this particular micropipette at 100 microliters. That comes out to 0.1 milligrams, or excuse me, milliliters. 0.1 milliliters is what we're looking for. And when you do that, you use these micropipette tips. These are either sterile or you can autoclave them to keep them sterile. I've got stock solutions already prepared, and we can walk through that in another video, but that's what I made was endo-3 butyric acid at 1 milligram per milliliter. 1 milligram per milliliter. Now, if you guys are interested in the stock solutions, we do sell those as well so that you don't have to make your own. But this is a very simple process. You're going to depress the micropipette, draw up your 1 milliliter or 0.1 milliliter, and squirt it in. That's it. You're going to get rid of that tip. You never use the same tip twice. You will cross-contaminate your hormones. Like I said, folks, this is a pretty simple process. It's really not difficult. The next hormone we're going to put in is 6-benzylamino purine. And for that, I'm going to dial this up to 1,000. Trying to do it where you guys can see it as well. When you dial it to 1,000, that's right at 1 milliliter. Let me dial up for you. Got to go all the way. Now I have a set of 3 different micropipettes to use. However, a lot of you guys are only going to end up buying one. So if you're only going to buy one, this is the one. Hear you guys hopping in and hopping out. All right, now we've got it at 1,000 microliters. 1,000 microliters is 1 milliliter, and we're going to use 2 milliliters in this particular mix. 2 milliliters of 6-benzylamino purine, and there again we depress it before we stick it in. There we go. Pull that up. There's 1 and 2. That simple, folks. You're going to get rid of that tip. Close up your hormones. Now, if you'll notice, I have these vials wrapped in foil. That is to keep them light safe. These do degrade in potency when they're exposed to the light. So I like to keep them wrapped in a dark place, or in an amber bottle like these. Now, the ones that you guys can purchase from us are in an amber bottle so that you don't have that issue. And let me adjust this a little bit. That's generally what I use. I've got a set of 3 different micropipettes that you can use. For this, I wanted to use the same tips because I'm autoclaving them together. So I used just this single micropipette. And let's see, now what we're going to do, one of the final steps toward this, we're almost there, guys. We're almost done. Remember, we're only making 1 liter here. That's all. We're going to open up another bottle of this distilled water, and we're going to top it off. We're going to top it off to 1,000 milliliters. That's 1 liter right there. There we are. We've still got the little spinner spinning. Let's turn that up a little bit. Get it going. Oh, yeah, there it was. All right, it's a spinning, it's a doing its thing, it's keeping everything mixed up. All right, now what we're going to do is check the pH. Now to check your pH, you can use any old pH meter, guys. You don't have to get the super expensive ones. Actually, let me get that just a little bit more. Okay. What I like to do when I'm adjusting the pH, I like to have a secondary jar here, or a bottle, and I put a little bit of distilled water in it. That way I've got a base liquid to kind of prime the meter Yeah, it kind of primes the meter and rinses it off in between putting things in it. So all we're going to do is take the cap off, turn it on, and set it in here and let it sit there and do its thing for a moment. I like to make sure that it's wet and that it's stopped moving. As you guys can see, it's kind of just jiggling around at 7.7 is where it's sitting, 7.6. Okay, now what we're looking for is a pH of between 5.6 and 5.8. Most of your house plants that you're going to be doing are going to be somewhere in that range. And right now we are sitting at 5.71. It's dropping a little bit. Let's see where it's going to go. We might be fine right here. Matter of fact, it's still dropping, but it's teetering. 5.66, guys. I'm going to call that good. We're going to rinse this off. We don't even need to adjust. When you add your growth regulators, it will change the pH. They're a little bit acidic, and it'll drop that a little bit. Now, in that mix of 2 milliliters per, or for the 6 benzylamino purine, and 0.1 milliliters of your IBA, that pretty well puts you spot on. And that's it, guys. That is all for mixing media. I'm going to come back to you. That's all there is to it. The next thing I would do is use my micro pipette to actually fill some tubes, and I put right at 5 milliliters per test tube. Cook it for 20 minutes at 15 psi on a pressure cooker, and you're done. That's all there is to mixing media. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up because we're going to be in the hood for a moment. So I'm going to transfer all of that into a 1 liter media bottle, and I'll probably cook it tomorrow. So let's get to that, and I'll be right back with you. Hey, if you have enjoyed this type of content and you'd like to see more, then hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button so that you get notified when there's new videos put out. And if this is the type of nerdy plant content that you enjoy, tell all your friends about it. Hit that share button. Give us a like. It goes a long way to letting us know that we're doing the right job, that we are providing the content and the information that you're looking for. And it helps us decide on what to put out next for you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.